Boker Tov. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm not sure where I look. I guess.
It seems to be pointed at me, maybe kind of
Yeah,
angle
you can
Okay.
Angle
you
that
sit there and it would work.
toward the
Okay.
board.
All right, we did say 11, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So I have got some feedback that maybe 10:45 would work a little better for people. Does 10:45 work? I know that's a small adjustment, or we can keep it at 11. We can talk about that. Anyway, Boker Tov, Ani Courtenay Harris Black, Ani Hamura Shel HaKita Hazot. And it's nice to meet everybody. We have a much bigger class than we did in our first meeting, which was a couple weeks ago. So maybe we could just go around and introduce ourselves briefly. As I said, I'm Courtney. I've been teaching here for many years, not biblical Hebrew, but religious school, and Hebrew was always a component of it. So this is my first time teaching adults. So welcome, Bruchim Habayim L'Kulam, to everybody. And maybe we can start with the people on Zoom. Do you want, Phyllis, do you want to start?
Sure. I'm Phyllis Rubin. I'm not, I just want to say I might not be at every class because if it's a normal, I'm also part of the choir in Oak Park Temple and we usually meet at this time. So I can't promise that I'll be there. I had invited a neighbor to come who wants to learn biblical Hebrew. And so I don't think she might come, but I thought if you would not know her, so I wanted to come to introduce her. We'll see if she comes.
Okay, Toda. Toda. And everyone else? Oh, no, Ed. Hi, Ed.
Unmute yourself, Ed.
You're muted, Ed.
You're muted.
We can't hear you, Ed. You gotta take your volume button. There we go.
Hi, I'm Ed Sachs. I think you all know me, but we've been members of the temple for about 40 years now, and family still members. My daughter is a member. My grandchildren have had their B'nai Mitzvah at Har Zion, and always willing to learn. But there's always something new to learn.
Ed, welcome.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah,
yeah,
I guess you can see everybody. Yeah, they can see you. Yeah.
I'm the bald guy in the corner. Hi, I'm Michael Weinstein. Actually, I work on the executive board for education. So this is. I have three beautiful daughters, lovely wife. We're all members of the show. We've been here a number of years, a few years, I guess, compared to Ed. But yeah, always interested in learning things, and I love all the programming that we have.
Great.
Morris Applebaum. I've been a member of Temple for about 30 years. And,
Yeah,
wanna
welcome.
learn some more.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, I'm Bianca. I have been a member of this temple, I guess, since I was 2 years old. I don't go that often, but I'm happy to be here.
Welcome.
And I'm Janine Kunix. I think many of you know me. So I've been here for a member for many years.
And I'm Alan Paris, and my family's been a member since, I don't know, 83, I think. And as I said to Maury, after 71 years, I thought it was time to I tried learning Hebrew and fits and starts, never really taken, but I thought it was time to try to learn a little bit about what I'm been reading all these years in the Siddur.
Always a good time.
I don't know if I'm on camera here at all, but I see my
Oh, you
hand
are.
here.
There
Yeah,
you
I'm
are.
up here. My name is Tamar, and my family's been members. My grandfather was a member. My dad was a member. I was at a mitzvah here. So, and now I have two boys starting Hebrew school.
Oh, welcome, Tamar. So maybe we'll just review a little bit. We've only met once. And what we first, does everyone have the book, first of all? The book is, nope, wait.
And
You
I
don't
have
know where the camera
the
is.
second edition that I bought
Okay.
15 years ago. It still seems to be about the same.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know where the camera is. That is the weirdest thing.
Here, I can,
You can share it.
Okay,
if you want.
thanks.
Anyway, this
You
is
have
the
to look
book.
at it?
Somebody,
Oh, no.
Or tell you what, I'll share with you
Okay.
tomorrow. and buy the
You're
book.
Okay. so the camera must be that way, because anyway.
Is this the camera? Is this thing the camera?
It's the.
Oh, it is. Okay. That's bizarre. All right, okay.
Now you're.
Okay, I am. Okay, so this is the book. If you don't have it, what I could do is maybe, well, we'll talk about it. I'll think of something
I think
creative.
we can buy it on.
Buy it online,
Yeah.
or I can, maybe even make photocopies and
Yeah,
make them
It's
available.
available
There
online.
you
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
On the website where it shows the dates of the class, there's a link
go.
to
Okay.
what the book is, and then I
Okay.
just went from there.
Excellent. So we're gonna start, last week we started with chapter 1. And we talked about introducing about approximately 10 new vocabulary words a week. I don't really think there are new vocabulary words. I think a lot of these words, when we talk about them, it'll turn out that we are familiar with them. In brief review, in Hebrew, when you're talking in the present tense in a noun sentence, which is the very simplest kind of sentence, there is no linking verb. So you are a king is just ata melech. There is no is, are, am. That verb is implied. I am a father, ani av. Moses is a king, Moshe melech. So when we more advanced, there is a past and present tense for the linking verbs. I was, I will be. We're not there yet. We'll get there maybe.
Would it be, is there support for someone to copy the first couple of pages? We can hold it up so people online can follow us.
Maybe.
It's too small.
Is it too
I know
small?
that you can see very well from.
I could write the words on the blackboard. Maybe somebody could point the camera to the
Whiteboard.
whiteboard. Yeah, it's actually a whiteboard.
That works.
Yeah, and then maybe I'll write. So these are the vocabulary words.
Write them big.
Yes, no, I know. I have my progressives on and I still have problems.
But it's only Ed and me, and probably I mean, I got what you've already said. I don't know how,
Okay. The first word,
This might be easier for them to see.
Is that
I
easier
can-
maybe
If
to
you don't
do
mind me
that?
sitting right there, I don't mind holding. Oh, you won't be able to sit. Well,
No,
Okay.
you go ahead. Go.
Okay, well, you know what? Stop
Okay.
me if you have a question. Maybe that's you know what I mean? That might be the easiest route. Thank you,
Oh,
Tamara.
that's good. Yeah.
Okay, that's good, I think.
yeah, it is good. It is good.
Oh, good,
And
okay.
you can see
I'll,
from there.
yeah, I'll figure it out. Don't worry, Courtney.
Okay,
Don't worry about it.
okay. All
I'll
right.
figure it out, Courtney. Don't worry.
Yeah, me
Maybe
too.
get a book
I'll
for
figure it
before
out.
the next class.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, so these are complete sentences without the linking verb. No words for is, am, or are. So you have to add them in any English translation. Also, you'll notice that the word a or an, which is just I don't know what the English term is for this very simple word, a or an, that also does not exist in Hebrew. So I am a king. Again, that's implied. Ani, well, I'll say I'm a queen. Ani malka. I am a queen. Okay. I am a mother. Ani ima. I am a mother. So Moses is a king. Moshe melech. So these end up being complete sentences. So these have to be added in any kind of English translation. So that's about the basic grammar rules for sentences. So we went over making sentences. Now, maybe we won't do that again, but we could. Ani Moshe, therefore would be I am Moses. And if I asked maybe Ed, if I said Ata Melech, what would I be saying? Ata,
You are a king.
you are a king, right? And if I said to Phyllis, At Ima, what would I be saying?
Yeah, well, Ema is mother, I think.
You are a mother.
You're a mother.
At Ima, you are a mother, right? So, so we did kind of, and maybe it wouldn't hurt maybe to review a couple of these sentences. Mike, do you have the book or no?
I don't, I'm ordering right now.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm gonna maybe look over Tamar's shoulder and just,
Well, then, yeah, you guys can share that way and you guys can share that
yeah,
way.
yeah. So, if we turn to page 4, Amud Arba, so we counted last week, maybe I'm gonna be referring to pages with the Hebrew, sorry, there's the camera, with the Hebrew. So we counted to 10 in Hebrew. If you can, count with me. Achad, Shtayim, Shalosh, Arba, Chamesh, Shesh, Sheva, Shemona, Tesha, Eser. And that's about what we'll get in the book today. So, Ba'amud on page Arba, if you have the book, translate these Hebrew noun sentences into English. And if you, do we have letter recognition, everybody? Are we at a point where we, it's okay, like basically,
I
so.
made the cheat sheets from my kindergartner's class.
Oh, there you go. Look at you. Thank you.
I took it, I got it from him, so I said, why not? I'll make copies for friends.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Everything I needed, no, I let it in there.
Right.
He got it last week in Hebrew school. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a copy of that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So, and it goes.
Yes. And I can actually, if everybody wants to, well, I'll probably have all your emails. I can send some links maybe too, or figure out the technology to like scan something and send as well. So, maybe mispar means number. Mispar achad. Mike, if you could read Efshar Likro, is it possible to read mispar achad?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So number 1.
Number 1,
I need,
mispar achad and amud arba on page 4.
I need Moshe.
And could you translate?
I'm Moshe.
I am Moshe.
I'm Moses.
I am Moses, yes. Mispar Shtayim, bevakasha. Boris, Shtayim.
Atam Melech. You are king.
You are a king. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to stop here briefly to say, in Hebrew, pronouns change by gender. So I will always stay the same. Ani, masculine and feminine. But you, both the singular and the plural, and they, both the singular and the plural, become masculine and feminine depending on who or what we're talking about. Because nouns in Hebrew are genderized. So melech is a masculine word. Melech is king. Malka is a feminine word. Let's see, shulchan, table, is a masculine word. Shabbat, the Sabbath, is a feminine word. So this becomes important because when you conjugate verbs, they conjugate to the gender of the noun. They also conjugate to the singular or plural of the noun. We can talk about that more as well. But so when I say Ani Moshe, I am Moses, Ani stays the same. Ani Devorah, I am Deborah, the same, right? The same, Ani, pronoun I. But if I'm talking to Morris and I said, you are a king, Ata Melech, Ata, you. And when we refer to God in prayers, there is we talked about this last week, because we are studying the Bible and there is gender biases or whatever you want to call it. It isn't an egalitarian book necessarily. So we're going to use the masculine, Ata Melech, right? When we talk about God, Ata Melech, right? Ata Melech.
Yeah.
So Ata Melech, you are king. But to Phyllis, Bianca, Tamar, Janine, at Malka, you are a queen. Who is the masculine, is the word for he, the pronoun he, and he, this is a little confusing, it means she. So So for example, and I'll just read Mispal Shalosh on number 3, Hu Av. Hu means he in English, and Av, father. He is a father. And we do refer to God with the masculine pronoun who as a he, as a masculine. So Hu Av, he is a father. So if I said he is a father, Hu Av, how might I say she is a mother, Bianca?
I forgot.
Ima. So
Oh,
he,
mom. Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry. I thought
she
you
is a
said
mother,
he.
yeah.
So, he, Ima.
Very good, very good. So Hu Av or Hu Abba, the more, and he Ima. Mispal Arba, Janine.
Are we on 4 or 5?
Oh, 4.
Okay. Is it Ze,
Ze,
okay, so it means this is the land?
So
or-
actually, Am Yisrael,
Uh-huh.
as opposed to Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael is the land of Israel.
So is country?
Am is
People.
like people or nation.
Oh, okay.
So, and we probably heard that, right? Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel. Am Yisrael, like for example, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. It's a song. It's also kind of a slogan, which means the people or the nation of Israel live. Eretz meaning the physical land, like the earth. Also, is a masculine word. So the I'm not sure. Good morning. I'm not sure if the English term is definitive, but when you're saying something specific, this nation, this book, that also kind of conjugates to both the gender and whether or not something is singular or plural. So if you say this people or this is a people, ze'am, this is a people or this is a nation. Again, the implied linking verb and the small word a. But if you're saying zot ima, this mother, the ze changes to zot or zo. We talked about that last week. So if you're saying this or that, that also will change according to gender and singular versus plural. Also with these students, hatamuldim ha'ele. So also changes. So we'll get there as well. So mispal chamesh, and I think of chamesh if you remember the number 5 from chamsa. I'm wearing a chamsa, actually several chamsas, and it's from the base, the root word chamesh, 5, for 5 fingers. Alan?
Hu echad, he is one.
He is one. And who are we talking about, do we think? Hu
God.
echad, ein sheni. There isn't a second, right? There is, yeah, he is one, ein sheni, there's not a second. Numbers also change. They also conjugate to the noun. So hu echad, he is one. But if we were talking about hashechina, does anybody know what the shechina is?
Yeah, it's the spirit of God.
Yeah, the spirit,
The
Morris,
the feminine spirit.
yes. Morris tells us it's the feminine spirit of God. And yes, shechina is a feminine spirit, and therefore a feminine word. So he, achat, the feminine nefesh or nafsha, he, achat. So again, even the numbers change, which is complicated. You know, it's not as straightforward, So hu achad, he achat. We'll talk about feminines in the next chapter. So Tamal,
Yisrael Am, Israel is a people.
Israel is a people. Yeah, Israel. Okay, so just because we went over this last week with the people that were here, do you want to kind of keep doing this, or do you want to move a little, push a little to get into the second chapter, or do we feel like review is good? It's
Review is good.
review is good. Okay, all right. So,
Kind of review it and I looked at it ahead. It's kind of like the same thing. When you get to the second
really
one, they
is.
repeat all these ones that we already learned. Like all this gets re-repeated.
it does.
So
It just adds new vocabulary
Yeah.
words.
So
Yeah, so,
probably could move
we
on.
are maybe moving a little faster than we did last week. But as Tamara tells us, we see in chapter 2, it's really kind of
It's the same.
a repetition with just a few more vocabulary words. So, but actually, number 7 is kind of important. Phyllis, if you could read, oh, actually, you can't. Well, maybe you can.
Hold on, let's see where we at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What do you want me to read?
It's actually backwards on camera, so see how the.
Oh,
Oh, that I can't help with.
Yeah, that's, okay. So Phyllis, we'll just be listening today.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, Mispal Sheva, number 7, on the top of page 4.
Moshe Melech,
Moshe Melech.
Moshe is king.
Moses is king, or Moshe is king. Yes. So we talked about last week, when you flip that, so Moshe Melech, Moses is king. What does it become if I say Melech Moshe? Melech Moshe,
King Moses.
King Moses, exact, King Moses. Yeah. Now Moses wasn't a king, so maybe let's make it more, Morris, can we think of somebody who was a king?
David,
Melech. So how would we say King David?
Melech, David.
Melech David, King David, Melech David. Bianca, King Solomon. It's worth making it in our heads.
Melech Solomon.
Melech Solomon. Yes. What about Solomon as a king?
Solomon Melech.
Solomon Melech. Do we see how that changes there? So Tamar, if I wanted to say Queen Esther,
Malka Esther.
Malka Esther, Malka Esther. And Mike, what if I wanted to say Esther is a queen? Sorry, we're not reading, we're just,
Oh, yeah, Esther, Esther Malacha,
Esther Malka,
Malka.
Malka, yeah. Yeah, so, anyway, we can do a few more examples of that. Or, when we get to it, we can just do it again. So, Mispal Shmone, Morris, number 8.
Right, okay. Ani, I am a father.
Ani Av, I am a father. Now, I would say, what would I say? If I would say Ani Em or Ima, right? Ani stays the same. Always, it does not change. Ani, Ima. And for him, Ani Av, the same. Bianca?
Ze Israel. Or I mean, not,
Yeah.
yeah, oh, okay. That means, like, this is Israel.
This is Israel, right? This is Israel. Janine?
Who, Malak?
Hu Melech.
Oh, hu
Melech.
melech.
Oh, that's okay. Melech.
Okay. Who, Malak? And that is, he is the king.
He is a king.
He is a
A
king.
king. Mhm. Or he is king, depending on the context, right? So like, maybe someone would say, who's David? And your answer could be, Hu Melech. He is a king. Or he is king, like who's the king? David Melech, David is king.
Okay.
It could be either. So so what if I wanted to say, yeah,
So like, if it's like, if you say like, he's king, would you add, like, would it still be like, who Melech? Or would it be like, who's, like?
no,
David?
it still is, he is king and he is a king. In Hebrew, it's the same.
Oh,
So contextually, you'd have to kind of, right? That's why people have different translations of books, like who is the best translation? It's kind of trying to figure out what the author meant. It could be he is king or he is a king. The small, and actually we learn this in the next chapter, so I won't get there yet. But if we want to say he is the king, The is not a separate word in Hebrew. Ha, it's the letter hey with the vowel sound for ah under it. I don't think you guys know the names of all the vowels, and that's complicated. I start throwing those around, but anyway, so there are rules about whether it's ha or becomes he, like how you pronounce the hey, depending on what the noun is that comes after it. But for the most part, if you stick with ha, everyone will understand you. If you're speaking, if you're reading, if you see the hey, you'll understand it's being the king. So
what would 10 be for
who
the king?
melech, he is king,
Yeah.
or
What about he is the king? What would that-
who hamelech.
Who Hamelech? Okay.
Yeah, who hamelech. He is the king.
So is that, would you put ha, even though it's understood either way, you would put maybe the ha as a
Well, it wouldn't be
prefix?
understood either way. Who melech is, he is a king.
Okay,
Who hamelech, he is the king.
but what I was saying is that would you maybe put that for emphasis instead of just saying he's king, he's the king?
Of course,
Right.
of course.
So you're-
Yeah,
you're
for
underlining
emphasis.
the-
Yes. Like if you, I mean, I can't actually think of what question it would be, like when you'd use, but anytime you want to say the king or make yourself clear,
Right,
you put
Ah,
ha in
okay.
front of it. Mhm. And you'd say ze hamelech, this is the king. Yeah, ze melech, this is a king. Okay, mispar achat esrei. I forgot who we're on. Maybe Alan. Okay,
Zeh Moshe, this is Moshe.
this is Moshe. And Phyllis, what if I wanted to say, this is Deborah? This is Deborah. Instead of
Well, what's this in feminine? I don't know.
oh yeah, sorry. So zot or zo. So zot is written like this. And I don't know if people can see the board or not. Let's see.
Yeah, I can't see the screen at all.
Got it. Hold on.
Thank you. This is better.
Okay.
Good. I got it. Zot.
Zot.
That's the feminine. Zot Devora.
Zot Devorah. This is Deborah. Yes. Also, to confuse things further, sometimes in biblical Hebrew, they say zo instead of zot for the feminine this. So sometimes they drop the final letter and it just becomes zo.
I don't think they should.
Zo, Esther, zot Esther means the same thing. Yes. Just to confuse you, but zo and zot kind of sound the same. So like in context, you probably know zo, Devorah, zo, Esther, zot, Devorah, zot, Esther. Okay, Tamal.
Ata'av, you are a father.
Ata'av, you are a father. Ed, what about you are a mother? Ata is the masculine.
Yeah, so it'd be Zot Ima. No, it would be At Ima.
Yes, At Ima, you are a mother. At Malka, you are a king. What about Mike? You are the queen.
Atad Malka.
At
At,
the queen.
oh, Hamalka.
At Hamalka. At Hamalka, you are the queen. You are the
So
queen.
can remember ata for a male, and at for a female. For the female, we take off a little appendage.
Yes, that's a good one.
There's no stem on the apple to quote Bill Cosby.
There's no stem on the, oh God, no, Bill Cosby. Okay, anyway, yeah. All
Sorry.
right, how did he get here? No, I'm just kidding.
I
Sorry.
missed that.
That is a,
It's okay.
It was a-
Mike will tell you later. Mike will tell you later. Yeah. Yeah, but that is a good way to remember. We take off the little appendage, which is interesting because usually when you hear the ah, you want to make something feminine, right? Like Deborah, Sarah, but no, it's not. It's the
But
opposite.
it's not the way for the other words, like zot is longer than zeh. So
Exactly,
it doesn't always
it
work.
is. It doesn't jive. It doesn't jive. You just have to Just have to learn it. So, all right, so I kind of like fill in the blanks to make your own noun sentences, because maybe some of us know some nouns that we can share with other people. So at the bottom of page 4, fill in the blanks to make your own noun sentences. So I'm okay with everyone making a present tense. Oh, I've been signed out. I think so.
That's all right, I think, as long as the meeting's already going.
Oh, okay. So we're making a present tense noun sentence. So remember, we're going to conjugate the pronoun to the direct object, right? I am a teacher. If I'm saying it, ani mora. If Morris is saying it, ani more.
All right.
More. Yeah, so we'll make our sentences, and if we want to throw in a little the word the, we can add ha or in front of it. So you can make your own sentence, and let's just go with it and see what happens. Mispar shalosh, achad shtayim shalosh, and we can remember. Does everyone know al shlosha devarim? Does everyone know that song? Al HaTorah. Okay, well, it's a Hebrew song. Like, do you know the song?
Yeah, I can't remember all
Okay.
the words, but yes. I'm
Okay, yes,
familiar
yes,
with
yes. All three things the world is made. Al HaTorah. So anyway.
Al-
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. So about three things. Anyway, I was just gonna say, if you know that song, you know that it's talking about three things the world is dependent on or whatever. Anyway, if we don't know the song, it doesn't help in context. I was just trying to throw in a prayer or something we all may know. Okay, so shalosh, mispar shalosh. Fill in the blanks to make your own noun sentences. Mike, do you want to start? And then translate for everybody.
Ani av, I am a father.
Yes. What about I am the father?
Ani ha'av.
Yes. Ani ha'av. Very good. Morris, do you want to do mispar shtayim? Shtayim, number 2.
Yeah, Yisrael,
Really good. Which means, hold on.
means Yisrael, the people of Israel.
The people of Israel is actually Am
Yeah.
Yisrael.
Oh, so this is.
People of Israel.
So,
Yisrael Am. Israel is a
nation.
Israel is a nation. Yes, or a people. Yeah. Very good. Shalosh, Bianca.
Hu melech.
Hu melech.
He's
What about he is the king?
Hu hamelech.
Hu hamelech. Yes.
All right. I'm just drawing a blank here.
Okay, no worries. The word is of. So of something father. You are a father. He is a father. God is a father.
You can use a name, maybe.
Yes, a name.
David of.
David of.
Uh-huh.
Yes. David is a father. Yes. David of. David is a father. Alan?
Ata Saba.
Ata Saba. Good word. You are a,
Saba.
right, what?
Ani Saba.
Yeah, I need Saba. You are a,
Saba is a
translation.
grandfather.
Grandfather. That's right. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Yes.
That's great.
Who? Saba. Phyllis. At. Safta. Safta. Grandmother. Ed. Ata. Saba. Anyone else? Morris?
No.
Ata. Saba? No?
No.
No?
Not
Okay.
yet.
Av. Av. Okay. Who? Rak. Av. He's only a father. Okay. Okay. Shesh.
Zeh shulchan.
Zeh shulchan. Shulchan. Ma zeh? What is this?
Table.
Shulchan.
Okay.
Yes, that's Shulchan. Shulchan. And has anyone ever heard of the book Shulchan Aruch? Phyllis, do you want to tell us what the Shulchan Aruch is? No,
She's heard of it.
Ed?
No.
That's all right. Anyway, oh wait, Phyllis, I think you're
Wait.
muted.
I was. Oh gosh, Shulchan Aruch. I don't know, is it a, if Shulchan is table, then this doesn't make sense, but I'm thinking it's a book of some sort.
Yeah, it is actually a book of some sorts, but it has to do with like, yeah, anyway, but it's like
It's Maimonides' codification of all
the
the laws.
laws, exactly. That's exactly what it is. So Shulchan Aruch, like
Why is the word table in it?
because it's like an organized table of contents of
Gotcha.
the laws of the Mishpatim, the laws, Mishpatim. It's actually, he was a really smart dude.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
more you like know about him, he was really ahead of his time. But anyway, okay. So then we get to the Shema, the probably, as the book says, the most well-known prayer in the prayer book. Also a good example of the Hebrew noun sentence. So, so we can all probably recite the Shema together from memory. Oh, and we talked last week briefly about the term God in Hebrew. There's a lot of names for God, right? And because some of us weren't here last week, can we throw out some of the names of God that we can think of?
Hashem,
Hashem, which means
the name.
The name.
the name. Mhm. Ed, can you think of any other names?
Adonai.
Adonai. Mike?
Um, I don't know.
Eloheinu?
Eloheinu. Yeah.
Eloheinu?
Okay.
Wasn't Eloheinu our God? The new on the end
It
is.
is. El is God. Eloheinu is our God. Elokeinu, Adashem. So there's like a lot of words because the very religious don't ever say the name of God unless they're praying because it's
Is it also Elohim?
Elohim. Yep. Elohim. God, like God Most High. Yeah. Elohim. Yeah, these are all names of God. So if people, I'm comfortable with whatever word for God people want to use when we're using it. But if anybody's not comfortable with it, I can modify and use Hashem or Elokeinu or whatever. Okay. So the Shema, do we all want to say it together? Shema, Yisrael,
Israel,
Adonai, Eloheinu.
Eloheinu, Adonai, Echad.
Very good. And when and now probably because we say it so many times, what are we actually saying? Just let's break it to the first sentence. Shema Yisrael.
Hear the people of Israel.
Here, oh Israel.
Hear, O Israel.
Who is-
So O is a little bit dramatic or whatever, but yes. So lishmoa is the verb for to hear. So when they're actually saying Shema, they're saying infinitive. It's the infinitive, which is you do this kind of thing. Do we all know what an infinitive is? Like, yeah, run, go, listen, sit, that kind of thing. So we're telling who?
The people of Israel.
Yisrael, here. And some commentators, there's a different word in modern Hebrew for listen, lakshiv, to listen. But some commentators talk about Shema not just being here, because I kind of like to say to my kids, you heard me, but are you listening to me? Has anybody ever else said that
Oh, yeah.
or thought that? Okay, you heard me, but no one's listening. So some commentators say Shema has more of a fuller meaning than just to hear. Shema Yisrael, hear, and then because O Israel sounds more pleasant, hear Israel, but like people of Israel, that's who they're talking about. Hear, O Israel. Okay, the next sentence, Janine, or the not, yeah, it is a sentence actually.
Oh.
Does everyone know what?
Adonai,
Yeah, Adonai.
Adonai Eloheinu.
Adonai Eloheinu. So everyone knows that two yuds together, how does that read when we're reading it? Yud,
I don't know.
yud,
I don't know.
reads as Adonai. Sorry, let's, oh, sorry. No, that's okay. Can you see? Can you see?
Yeah.
So Adonai, yud, yud, right there. Sorry, I'll get more adept at this. This is not intuitive, or at least not to me. Adonai Eloheinu. So Adonai is
Adonai is our God.
God, just God, not our God. That's Elohim. Adonai is, oh yes, of course, you're translating the whole sentence. Adonai is our God. Yes. So it actually, yes.
Do they spell like yud because it's like, is Adonai the most holy way to say God?
Actually, the most holy way is the tetragram, Yud Vav Yud Hey,
So what does that say?
which
Or is it
is
just-
pronounced, I think it's in your book, right?
It's- I saw it earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Yud Vav Yud Hey is like Yahweh, which isn't how you actually pronounce it. But that is the most holy form of God. Yud Vav Yud Hey.
I think that's where I'm pointing.
Yeah, do you see it in there? It's probably, it's backwards.
Right here, the
It's backwards.
tetragram.
Yud-Hey Vav-Hey.
Yud Hey Vav Hey, the most holy way to write God.
If you look in the prayer books we use in the Sim Shalom, the Lev Shalem, that's what they usually use rather than the two yuds. The Orthodox prayer books tend to use the two yuds.
Thank you, Ed. I did not know that. So thank you. Yes. Okay, so so Adonai is our God. The Lord is our God. Or as a phrase, okay, so they're talking about, so God is our God or the Lord our God. So again, like with the Hebrew, Adonai Eloheinu, God is our God, or they're saying Lord, which is another way of translating God. So again, like it actually doesn't say Lord. Lord is Adon. That's the word, like Adon Olam, Asher Malach, Lord, or but so again, it's kind of a literary license. What's it called when artistic kind of
Artistic license.
artistic license? Adonai Eloheinu. It's literally saying God is our God, but the Lord is our God is how they're translating it. Or because the linking verb isn't present, it could be the Lord our God, right? We don't know. So anyway, it can translate both ways. And the last phrase, that
Adonai Echad, the Lord is one, or God is one.
God is one. And Morris, what if we wanted to say Shekhinah, which some Orthodox feminists say, Shekhinah Achat, Achat. The feminine spirit of God, Achat is one. So, does everyone understand what we did there, or is there anything that needs to be broken down?
So with Shekinah,
So-
is Echad different then?
Yes, if we change the word from Adonai to Shekhinah,
Yeah,
then it would be Achat,
Echad.
Oh,
Achat. Or when I was in my teens, I didn't like that Adonai was assumed to be a masculine word. So I would actually change the Shema in my head. And I'd say Shmu, here, all you people, genderless, plural, Israel, Shmu Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Achat. Achat. That was my little act of rebellion as a teenager.
Dramatic rebellion.
It was very dramatic. No one heard me.
Dramatic.
Or romantic. Yes, both. No, yeah. Anyway, so Shmu Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. If you want to do it in my version of the genderless.
So is that a T at the end then?
It isn't. It was my way of making it a feminine.
But you
No,
would
I
write it with
understand,
a
but I'm-
taf.
Yes,
at the end.
yes. You'd write it with the top at the end. Yeah, Achat.
So wait,
Um,
so Adonai is neither feminine or masculine?
No, it's masculine. It's
It's
masculine.
masculine.
I was just saying, like, if I, like some Orthodox feminists or feminists just want to, why do we assume that God is masculine, right?
Yeah.
Because
I got it.
somebody told us that it was. Anyway.
Yeah, I think men.
It was a man, probably, but anyway, that is the prayer. So we're sticking with the biblical Hebrew, which is Achad, Adonai Achad. Okay,
So it was a way of making it personal to yourself.
yes,
So making it personal and meaningful to yourself as a woman.
yes.
That's good.
Yeah. Also, because the nation of Israel, in my mind, is an masculine nation. The nation head of Israel is mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers and children. Anyway, do it however you want. It is just as long as you're telling me so that I know you are conjugating correctly. Okay. So chapter 2, the feminine noun. There is I don't know if you see it backwards.
Saw it a little bit.
Yeah.
Which did you want to show them? Which part? did you
Yeah.
want?
Do you
This
maybe
or
show
this?
them the vocabulary list or?
Oh.
Is it backwards on your screen, guys?
No,
It isn't. Okay. Because it is on our screen.
It-
Okay.
it's backwards on your screen, so it's like when you're looking in a mirror.
Oh, got it. Okay. Okay, so is there anything we want to review from chapter 1? And at any time, ask a question or slow me down. We talked through some of these concepts more in depth last week, so I'm happy to do that. Yeah.
So I'm looking at this and it says like for mom, it says like it has like an olive and like a mem sofit, I guess. And would you pronounce it like im or Because like olive is like a sound
Actually,
or sound.
M.
So it's im
And
instead of
so does everyone know the sounds that the different vowels make? Because I can, just like Tamara gave us the alphabet, I can give us a cheat sheet of what the vowels sound like. Because the vowels are really important when reading the Torah and reading prayers, because they actually do use the vowels or nikudot. But in a book or a newspaper, they really don't. So at some point, the vowels are dropped and they become sight words.
Seeing if it was in here anywhere.
I didn't look. I didn't see it on a quick scan.
Yeah, I mean, it would be helpful because,
Okay,
kind of
so
remember that.
so you know what I'll do is I will send an attachment because I don't think we meet next week. I think this class meets with the rabbi next week.
Right, that's 24.
Yeah, and then we meet in November, the early November. Yeah. So, and Bianca just asked a good question. She just asked if the word M for mother, and that's kind of the more formal term for mother. In spoken Hebrew, we don't use the term M. We use the term
Ima.
Ima, and we don't use the term Av. We use for father, we use Abba, exactly. So, so Bianca said that when she was reading the word M, that the word ended with the letter, which is the word for letter is ot, with the ot, mem, sofit. Does anyone know what she's talking about? She's talking about the letter mem. So
Yeah, there are some Hebrew letters that have a different form if they're at the end of the word.
correct.
Yeah, this one here.
Oh, and it's on Tamar sheet. Excellent.
Yeah.
So yes, about 5 letters or so. We went over them last week. Change form, just as Ed said, when they are the final letter in a word. So, so mem is one of them. If we wrote the term ima, which would be aleph, mem, aleph, it would just be the regular mem. But the term em is mem, sofit. And the word sofit means final. And because M is because ot, sorry, I digress a little. So sometimes I digress too much. So stop me. But ot means letter, and it's a feminine word. So we're saying mem because it's a letter, sofit. Sophie would be like final for masculine. And the word for weekend is sof hashavua. Sof hashavua. End of, what is the shavua?
The week.
The week, end of the week. So, yeah, so we see some like Start just so that words start to resonate, like when we might see them. So mem sofit, or what else has a sofit? Nun sofit. So shulchan, shulchan. The nun at the end of the word shulchan for table is a nun that extends under the line, like when you're writing in those tablets, yeah, or whatever. Yeah, nun sofit. But if I wanted to say shana, for what does the word shana mean? Shana tova.
Year.
Year. Shavua is week, shana is year. So shana tova for a good year, right? So when you use nun in the middle of a word, it's a shorter letter with a hook on the end. So yeah, so the letters, just to make things even more confusing, change depending where they are in the word, but only about 5 or 6 of them. And we'll make more tomorrow. If you have an extra one, I can run some more copies or.
I could scan it in and
Oh.
email it to you too.
Oh,
You
perfect.
just gotta tell me your email.
Sure. Maybe we can, I'll send you all my email. That would be great. And then if you all could email me, I could make a list so that I could send stuff out as it comes up.
This came from Ed's daughter. She's teaching my kindergartner upstairs right now, I think.
Oh, yeah. Julia is a great teacher. Yes. Okay. So chapter 2. Sorry.
At about 5 minutes. I
Okay.
don't know if we're going longer or not. I just.
Okay, 5 minutes. If you guys want to make up, I was a couple minutes late, up to you. Read and translate the following sentences orally. Okay, we kind of did that already in chapter 1. It's the same as kind of a review. So maybe we'll read the new vocabulary words, starting with Mike. And if we could read the word and then say what it means.
So
Oh, sorry. Chapter 2, Amud Shesh. And the word, what day is Yom Shishi? Yom Shishi, the sixth day, which in Hebrew, the 6th day,
Friday before
Friday.
Shabbos. Before Shabbos.
yes, Yom Shishi, Friday, the 6th day, because Shabbat is the day, the 7th day, when God rested. So there's another way to remember 6. Yom Shishi, Shishi it means is the adjective of 6. Shish.
Wait, I have a question. Wait, isn't there like also like a Yom Shlishi or? am I
Yom
making that up?
Shlishi from the word shalosh is the 3rd day. So what day would that be? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was confused.
Tuesday. So literally you count days of the week. That's an easy way to remember days of the week. So Yom Shabbat is Shabbat.
Right.
Yom Rishon, the 1st day, which in
Day.
Hebrew is
Today.
Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Right, not Monday. So yeah, so Yom Shishi is Friday, or Ba'amud Shesh on page 6. Mike is gonna read and translate a vocabulary word.
Aim,
Im.
mother.
Yeah. Mother, im. Biblical
Biblical mother.
mother. And, oops,
I got you. now.
okay, there we go, thank you. Okay. Im, mother. And what is the word for father, just to review? 'Cause- Av.